You swing your legs off the bed and, crack, your knees protest like rusty hinges. It's not just you, more than 20 million people over 50 face the same betrayal each dawn. But here's the shocker, the damage isn't done when you stand up, it's happening at 4 a.m. while you sleep. Stick around, because I'm revealing 3 bedtime mistakes that inflame your joints, and the fixes you can try tonight to wake up pain-free. For many of us, especially as we mature, those 8 hours that should be our body's prime healing time are actually working against us. Your bedroom, which should be a sanctuary of restoration, may unknowingly be sabotaging your joint health in ways that medical science is only now beginning to understand. I'm here today to share some groundbreaking information about why your joints feel so stiff and painful in the morning, and more importantly, what you can do about it starting tonight. If you've been telling yourself that morning joint pain is simply an inevitable part of getting older, I want you to know that's not entirely accurate. While aging does bring certain challenges, there are specific processes happening during your sleep that you have more control over than you might think. Many of us have accepted that morning stiffness is simply inevitable as we age. Perhaps you've been to the doctor and been told it's just wear and tear on your joints, or that it's simply what happens when we reach a certain age. Maybe you've even been advised that the best you can do is take medication to manage the pain. If any of this sounds familiar, please let me know in the comments, because you're certainly not alone in feeling this way. What's particularly frustrating is how this morning stiffness can set the tone for your entire day. You may find yourself moving more slowly, feeling less confident about activities you once enjoyed, or even avoiding social activities because you're not sure how your joints will feel. This cycle can affect not just your physical health, but your emotional well-being and quality of life. However, recent medical research has revealed something quite different, and it's actually quite encouraging. Your body has a sophisticated natural anti-inflammatory system that's designed to work while you sleep. This system is orchestrated by several hormones, but the main conductor is cortisol. Now, you may have heard of cortisol as the stress hormone, and while that's partially true, cortisol also plays a crucial role in controlling inflammation throughout your body. In a healthy sleep pattern, cortisol levels follow a very specific rhythm. They drop in the evening to help you fall asleep, remain low during the night, and then rise just before you naturally wake up. This morning rise in cortisol is like your body's natural ibuprofen, working to reduce any inflammation that may have built up during the night. It's a beautiful system that has worked perfectly for thousands of years. But in people experiencing chronic joint pain, this delicate timing gets disrupted. Instead of cortisol rising to fight inflammation in the early morning hours, it often remains low or even drops further during the night. This leaves inflammatory substances, called cytokines, free to accumulate in your joints for hours without any natural opposition. It's like having a security system that's supposed to patrol your neighborhood at night, but instead decides to take the night off. According to the Arthritis Foundation, this disrupted hormone pattern explains why you can go to bed feeling relatively comfortable and wake up feeling like you've been in a wrestling match. Your body's natural repair system is simply not working on the right schedule. The encouraging news is that this pattern can be improved with the right approach. Now, let me share 3 common nighttime habits that are likely disrupting this natural healing process and making your morning joint pain worse. I suspect that most of you will recognize at least one, if not all, of these patterns in your own evening routine. If any of these sound familiar, please share this information with friends or family members who might benefit from hearing this, because the chances are, they're experiencing similar challenges. It's important to understand that these aren't necessarily bad habits in general. Many of these behaviors are perfectly normal and even beneficial in other contexts. The issue is timing and how they interact with your body's natural sleep and repair processes. The first issue is exposure to bright light, particularly from television, reading lamps, or any electronic devices, late in the evening. Now, I'm not suggesting you sit in darkness after sunset. That's neither practical nor enjoyable. But when we're exposed to bright, white light after 9 o'clock at night, it sends confusing signals to our brain about what time of day it should be. This bright light exposure interferes with our body's production of melatonin, and here's why that matters for your joints. Melatonin isn't just the hormone that makes you sleepy. It's also one of your body's most powerful natural antioxidants and anti-inflammatory substances. When melatonin levels drop due to late-night light exposure, inflammatory substances increase throughout your body, including in your joints. Think of melatonin as your joint's overnight security team. When this team is understaffed due to bright light disruption, inflammation can build up unchecked while you sleep. By morning, your joints are dealing with hours of accumulated inflammatory damage. This is why some people notice their joint pain is worse after staying up late watching television or reading with bright lights. The second problematic habit involves eating, particularly carbohydrate-rich or sugary snacks, close to bedtime. Many of us enjoy a small snack while watching television in the evening, and that's perfectly understandable. It's a pleasant way to unwind after a long day. However, recent research published in respected medical journals has revealed something quite concerning about this timing. When we eat processed foods, sugary snacks, or even large amounts of simple carbohydrates within an hour of bedtime, it triggers a cascade of inflammatory responses in our digestive system. Your digestive system, which should be winding down for the night, suddenly has to work overtime to process these foods. This creates inflammatory substances that don't stay localized in your stomach. The connection between our digestive health and joint health is much stronger than most people realize, and it's something that wasn't well understood until relatively recently. These inflammatory signals travel through your bloodstream, reaching your joints and contributing to the stiffness and pain you feel in the morning. It's particularly problematic for people who are prone to conditions like gout, where dietary choices can directly trigger joint inflammation. The third habit that's causing problems is how we position ourselves while sleeping. Many people sleep on their side with their arm tucked under their pillow or head. While this might feel comfortable initially, maintaining this position for 6 to 8 hours can reduce blood flow and limit the circulation of joint fluid, particularly around the shoulder and neck. Joint fluid, called synovial fluid, is like oil in an engine. It needs to circulate freely to keep your joints moving smoothly. When circulation is restricted for hours, joints become stiff and painful. Now, let me share a practical system I call rest that can help address these problems naturally. This isn't about taking more medications or making dramatic lifestyle changes. These are gentle, sustainable adjustments that work with your body's natural healing processes rather than against them. If you're willing to try these changes for just a few nights to see if they help reduce your morning joint discomfort, please give this video a like to let me know you're committed to improving your sleep and joint health. I want to emphasize that these suggestions are meant to complement, not replace, any medical treatment you may already be receiving. Always consult with your healthcare provider before making significant changes to your routine, especially if you're taking medications for sleep or pain management. The R in rest stands for regulate light. 2 simple changes can make a significant difference. First, try to dim the lights in your home after 8 o'clock in the evening. If you enjoy reading or watching television, consider using a small lamp instead of bright overhead lights. Second, make your bedroom as dark as possible. Heavy curtains or an eye mask can help. Your joints actually heal better in complete darkness because that's when your body produces the most natural anti-inflammatory hormones. The E stands for evening anti-inflammatory support. About an hour before bedtime, try drinking a small glass of tart-cherry juice mixed with a teaspoon of unflavored gelatin or collagen powder. Tart-cherry juice naturally supports melatonin production, while gelatin provides building blocks that your joints need for overnight repair. You can find both of these at most grocery stores, and they're generally quite affordable. Think of this as providing your joints with the raw materials they need to repair themselves while you sleep. The S stands for support your sleep position. If you sleep on your side, place a pillow between your knees to keep your spine properly aligned. If you prefer sleeping on your back, a small pillow under your knees can help. Most importantly, try to keep your arms either at your sides or folded across your chest, rather than tucked under your pillow. This allows better circulation to your shoulder and neck joints throughout the night. The T stands for take time to prepare. Before getting into bed, spend just 2 minutes doing gentle movements to signal your body that it's time to rest and repair. Start with slow neck rolls, 5 times in each direction. Then gently roll your shoulders backward 10 times, really focusing on the movement. Finally, sit on the edge of your bed and gently twist your torso to the left, hold for 30 seconds, then twist to the right and hold for 30 seconds. These aren't exercises for fitness, they're signals to your nervous system that it's time to shift into repair mode. Here's what I'd like you to try, and I encourage you to approach this as a gentle experiment rather than a strict regimen. Use this rest approach for just 3 nights. That's long enough to notice a difference, but short enough that it doesn't feel overwhelming. Before you start, take a moment to honestly assess your current situation. Rate your morning joint stiffness on a scale where 10 means you feel terrible and can barely move, and 1 means you feel quite good and ready for your day. Write down this number, along with which specific joints are bothering you most. After 3 nights of following the rest approach, rate your morning stiffness again using the same scale. Also note whether the same joints are bothering you, or if the pattern has changed. If you notice any improvement at all, even if it's just a point or 2 on the scale, please come back and leave a comment saying better along with your before and after numbers. I read every comment personally, and I genuinely want to know how this works for you. Your experience could help encourage someone else who's struggling with the same issues. Don't be discouraged if you don't see dramatic changes immediately. Sometimes our bodies need a little time to adjust to new patterns, and even small improvements can build over time. If you found this information helpful and feel it could benefit others in your life, please consider subscribing to our channel and sharing this video with anyone you know who struggles with morning joint pain. We're building a community of people who believe that getting older doesn't have to mean accepting unnecessary discomfort. Your sharing this video could be exactly what someone needs to hear today. Next week, I'll be sharing detailed information about specific breakfast foods that can actually help reduce the inflammation that builds up in your joints overnight. These are common, affordable foods you probably already have in your kitchen, and the research shows they can be more effective than some over-the-counter pain medications when used consistently. I'll also be discussing the timing of when you eat these foods, because as we've learned today, timing can be just as important as the choice itself. Your joints don't have to dictate how your day begins or limit what you can accomplish. Tonight, give them the rest they need to serve you better tomorrow. I genuinely look forward to hearing about your results in the comments, and I'll see you next week. Remember, better mornings truly do start with better evenings, and you have more control over this process than you might have imagined.